Rob, what's good, homie?
Mike, we are live Wednesday night, October 14th. I feel like we got a lot to talk about this week. So we'll let some people start coming in. But we had some live bowling this past weekend. We had a show with Coley Edison that we need to talk about, and some other surprise
Undercover boss,
undercover
undercover boss.
boss.
As it turns out, she did. She did visit the guy in the back. She did work as a mechanic. No boxes of human excrement though.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that, and then we also gonna have talk a little college bowl in this episode, Mike. So I can't wait to get into some how the college bowlers these days are going to be partying with all these social distancing and masks. I feel like that's a
That's
very
all you
important
worry about. That's all you worry about is the party, and I want to hear about
because
the actual bowling.
I actually don't
Uh,
remember about any of my bowling during college. I remember about the parties though. King Louis, St. Louis, King Henry the Eighth was at the hotel.
King
So
Henry VIII
yeah,
Hotel, yeah.
I remember being lost drunk there for like an hour trying to find the room. But yeah, anyway, this past weekend was pretty good and bad in certain ways. It was my mom's birthday on Saturday, so Mom Dukes is starting. She's plugging along. We went out to eat, and we got I gave her some gifts, and it was pretty good this birthday because normally I'm not in town for her birthday. Usually I'm just calling her, but since the pandemic and stuff, I'm kind of temporarily staying here. So it was good to spend a birthday with my mom. I wasn't able to check out though. There's some action bowling going on in Vegas, Mike. I'm not sure if you are aware of that, but there's an action bowling Facebook page that I got caught wind of, and they just moved some action out to the Gold Coast, and then that goes on at like 5. Mike, they were doing Baker team action matches.
Yeah,
So
somebody in the chat was mentioning that last week, weren't they? That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
see if you could get the info on where
I
that's being
know.
broadcast and stuff. I'd like to
I
check
was
that out. You should get down there and bowl, son. I told you. You backed me. You had a piece of me when I took an action match. So let me know. I got you.
Yeah. I wanted to get down there this past Saturday, but obviously his mom's birthday, and went out to eat and didn't feel like saying, "Hey, mom, here's your gift. I'm gonna go check out some action at the Gold Coast." But maybe I'll go down this Saturday if I have enough time. Mike, we all know I'm like the busiest person, even during a pandemic. So we'll check it out. What's going on with you, man? Did you get a chance to check out some football? I caught a little bit of my Jets losing in
It's
football.
so bad. The Eagles are. I'm rocking the Eagles hat tonight, but the whole NFC East is just terrible. Really, it's a bad situation. My football. I'll say this: like football to me is more about social gathering than it is
Mm.
about the actual football. Like
Tailgates, right?
I enjoy more getting together with the people that I watch
Sure.
games with and have a good time with than I do the actual football, and I care more about that than I do the actual football. So, this year with COVID and not really being able to get together very much, yeah, it's kind of put a downer on things. I know you too. Like you guys usually do a game at for the Jets. Usually you guys come up and tailgate and all that. I didn't get to go to the Eagles games that I would normally go to. So yeah, interesting. But let me just say, Joey Bellbottoms burn. I'm kind of Rob. I'm suspect of any burner these days. I'm suspect of any burner. It's a lot of haters out there. Rob, you asked me how I'm doing. I want to talk about the haters for a minute. But it was always St. Louis. St. Louis was always the best party in college bowling. Was it not, Rob? I mean,
Yeah, it
that kind
was.
of went without saying. It was like Thanksgiving. You usually had a couple days where you were there, but you were not bowling the next day, right? Like so.
And the lanes were walled up, so you really didn't have to bowl. You could roll
You
in there
know,
on an hour's sleep,
I,
like
ne-
hungover.
I never bowled good in that shithole.
Really?
I never bowled good. Yeah, I maybe had one good set there where I like qualified for the college bowler youth tournament. You went to another bowling alley and participated in. I qualified for that like my first year out there, but I know I struggled in that place. I couldn't believe it. One of my teammates shot like the highest series in the country. One year there it was he shot like 850 or something for 3 games. So yeah, I know the scoring pace there was crazy, but I just I never had a lot of success there.
Yeah, my
But yeah,
coach told me after shooting 660 for
okay.
3.
Yeah,
That
no, I
was the
mean
year his wife pulled me. It wasn't even
yeah,
him. Remember that story?
yeah. I mean, I can understand that. The scoring pace there was wild. Uh, I want to say hello to all the haters. People are asking about the burner accounts, Rob, and no new info, right now. But we know the haters are watching, so we always want to say hi to the haters too, and just recognize them as well. We appreciate everybody joining us. Don't be afraid to get involved in the chat. But yes, Rob. I guess the first order of conversation should be the undercover boss. No.
Yeah, Mike, I took the day off for work today so I could stay up late and watch it because it's that important to me to see what Bolero is doing with undercover boss. And Mike, I know you were supposed to stay off of Twitter Saturday night or whatever night it aired, and then I saw you tweeting like a madman once the show started.
Yeah, no,
Because
no. I mean, in terms of staying off of Twitter, it was in terms of the you know the beef, right? And
the
I mean,
beef.
listen, I'm only gonna say so much. But I will say I felt like we were being antagonized at a certain point. So yeah, I mean, I was trying to just ignore it and do my thing with watching the bowling and whatnot. Even though, to be honest, I already knew the results before the show aired. So I heard the bowlers had to sign non-disclosure agreements too, Rob, about revealing the information and stuff like that.
Sure,
So
it makes sense. I mean,
yeah, but
they
I
should.
did know the results before the show aired, so it took a little bit of the fun away from it for me. But yeah, definitely good shows, good stuff for us to talk
Well,
about and
let's
review.
start with Coley first.
Yeah, let's start. So I know I was supposed to stay off social media, but I had to with the shows. I gotta do. I gotta do what I gotta do with the interest of the bowling. All right, go ahead. You can start. Where
I'm,
I'm going.
I
Everybody
know
knows
where
where
you're
I'm going.
going.
I mean,
I know everybody knows
I
where you're going
tweeted a lot during the show. I was
because
very
everybody
clear
follows
about.
you on Twitter, Mike.
I know.
So everybody knows.
I was very clear about what I thought about the show going into it. But go ahead.
I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna get beat up for this from in a lot of different ways. I liked the show. I thought it was. I enjoyed watching that show for an hour. Like, look, okay, we know it was scripted, okay, because nobody goes home with their boss or not their boss, some new girl who works there and whatever, take him home to meet as her father, right? The wig
It
was
was
obvious,
ridiculous.
right? The,
It was
the whole
ridiculous.
it was scripted, okay, but the show it did put Coley and Bolero, it did put them in a good light. It did. Like it did make them seem like they really do care. I did watch it with my mom, right, who is a very not involved in any of the PBA. She just loves like watching those type of shows. So she was excited, and she kept saying, "Oh, how nice of a lady that Coley is. Oh, she's such a sweet lady." And I'm thinking to myself, well, if my mom's thinking like that, like there's probably a lot of other people watching that who think like that too, right? So I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. I liked watching a lot of the people there, like, whatever it was, get money and, like just work hard. And like, these are the people that, Mike, I was at one time, I was a front desk person at the
So
bowling
was I.
alley, right? I waited tables, right? I did a lot of that, like, stuff that a lot of people do during college or during high school. And I don't know. I just thought it is what it is, right? I wasn't sure what you were expecting because you were making tweets like, "Oh, the PBA wasn't even mentioned," or this and this. Like, what do you want them to do? Like, you want her to say like, "Oh, I don't even know how you could bring in the PBA to even any kind of discussion when the show was really about Bolero and the company and what they do for like their own, like how do they make profits. So I don't know what you expected from the show, but I think that a lot of the criticism that you were making was just kind of like uncalled for. You were just looking to hate. You were just kind of looking to pick apart the show, in my opinion. You didn't take it for what it is, which was a scripted reality show like the WWE. You just sit there and it was entertaining, I thought.
All right, are you done?
I'm done.
Yeah. So I don't even know. I don't even know where to start. What do I expect? How
What'd
about
you
even
expect?
a mention? How about even a mention of her being the CEO of the PBA? How about that?
What
Would that have
what does
been
that
too
even
much?
do? What does that even do? What,
I
like,
mean,
I
at
don't get
least
it.
it at
Like,
least gets the name out there. It at least promotes the name. How about instead of having the guy with the Storm name shirt on, who's just there randomly bowling? It was like rock and bowl, and my man's got the Storm name shirt on. How about instead of him? How about instead of him? They could have brought in, a known bowler at that time and sat down and had a conversation with Coley about, the balance between turning the centers into entertainment centers, but also trying to keep the base of the league bowler. I found it interesting that listen, I get beat up, right? I get beat up for saying, oh, they should throw more money at the PBA. They own it, and this is something that they should invest in, et cetera. They're a big company and they have a lot of earnings. And I got beat up for that a few times when I said this kind of stuff on the show. And one of the things that they mentioned straight out was, oh, we're a company with over $1 billion in revenue. So I mean, listen, I don't want to hear it. I really don't. Like, if people are going to beat me up about it, I'll kind of look to that as something they promoted, right, in their own show while they were on TV.
but here's the thing, though, Mike. Look, I could be completely off here, but revenue doesn't exactly equal profit, and I just know that from my own work and my own career. I could
Right,
be a
no,
million
I
dollar,
understand.
$1 billion revenue company, and if my expenses are $999,000, I'm profiting 1,000. We don't know what their profit share on that $1 billion revenue is.
Okay, fair point.
So,
Fair point.
but I
I
agree
just
with
look
you
at
though.
that as a lot of cash flow coming through a business, So, and yeah, I listen.
My brother said that the PBA is a write-off for them, and you spelled write-off, Dave. You're a teacher.
Uh,
Right.
so you asked me what I expected. I mean, I'd watched Undercover Boss before, so it was kind of what I expected. It was phony.
Yeah,
It was
a
phony as
scripted
hell.
reality show,
And
right?
I hate the fact that you keep saying reality show. How could it be a scripted reality show?
It
It's either
is.
scripted or it's a reality show.
MTV Real World is a scripted reality show. I mean,
I was dying.
They tell them what to say.
I was dying when they when they said she was going to work in the back with the mechanic. I mean, I was crying, laughing, thinking, "Oh God, here it is. This is where she's going to find the box with the poop in it." But it didn't unfold that way. I was cracking up, thinking, they gave the counter kid, I think $50,000, was it? They gave him 50 grand.
He was the manager.
Yeah, and I thought, wow, he probably makes that in like a month with shoe money, with shoe rental money. It's probably gonna.
He's all pissed because he told them about their obsolete systems, and now she's putting in a whole new system, and he's all pissed because the new system probably counts shoes when the old system was.
Yeah, and I gotta say, some of the things that she said during the show kind of surprised me, and I tweeted about it. There was one part, you bring up the point of sale system, where she said, "Oh, I had never seen this in person or up close." I mean, what are you doing? You're the VP of the customer experience or customer acquisition, whatever it is, and you've never seen that up close. I mean, that almost seems unbelievable to me. So
I don't know. I don't like to see these people that are just working at a big company and seeing what our CEO and CFO and all those big shots do. They're not doing the day-to-day shit. They're on stock earning calls, and they're going and talking to potential sponsors and potential advertisers, whatever it is. Like they're not like doing the day to day on like the point of like putting in games and like and they leave that to like the technical, the IT side of the company. So you'd be surprised how many like heads of companies aren't like with the day to day of what the company does. Like the CFO of the company couldn't do what I do, just like I couldn't do what the CFO or the CEO does.
Yeah, I don't know.
So,
I just I
oh,
kind
don't
of
worry, Andrew. We're gonna get to Barstool, Carl. That's on the agenda. But you know, we're you know what I mean though. All I'm saying is like, yeah, it's surprising, but she's not like she's a somebody who probably takes out and tries to get like advertisers and sponsors and looks at big picture type stuff, not everyday day to day stuff. That's just my opinion.
yeah, no, I hear you, and that's understandable. I just think that if I'm an executive at a company, I want to know everything that I can about what's going on and how the product is presented to the customers, et cetera. But we're getting too deep on that. I was interested in how they chose and I think this about Undercover Boss all the time. Whenever I watch it, I happen to flip by it. But how do they choose the people who get these rewards? Like I see Jeff commenting in the chat saying it's got to suck to be all the people that work at that place that didn't get a prize from Cola. Yeah, I kind of agree. And you know what? I'll be honest here. I'm very anti-corporate America. I feel like this kind of stuff, like Undercover Boss, to me, it comes off as an advertisement for a company like Bolero, where
Absolutely.
It's like, oh, look at what a great company we are, and we care about our people and all. And like, I'll be honest, I think it's complete bullshit. I think that if they really cared about the workers, they would, pay real salaries, pay real, and again, this isn't just Bolero. This is corporate America in general. I mean, we could go with Amazon or Walmart or whatever, but to avoid getting too political here, I did wonder, how do they choose the people, right? Do they submit stories or do they do background information on them? I'm not even 100% sure.
As scripted as this shit is, they probably tell the people, "Hey, Undercover Boss is coming here. Like, send in your resumes."
Who's got the saddest story?
Yeah, like who's got?
I do. I have the saddest story.
Yeah, that's a good point though. In the fact where like, there's probably a lot of people that work like the waitress, right? There's a lot of waitresses that are probably busting their ass there, that seeing their like coworker get 50, 30 grand, whatever, and I mean, she did have a sad story. Like she did live in a shelter and whatever, and it was a sad story. And look, like ultimately, I did feel like Coley came out and Bolero came out looking great. And you're right, it is publicity for a company. It's like Shark Tank, which we'll talk a little bit about later, where these companies go on.
Honestly, though, that's so different to me, because Shark Tank could go negatively the same way it could go positive. Now, I know what you're saying, like, regardless, you get the exposure, right? Okay.
Sure.
But there's no way it's going negatively. Like, it's crafted that the only conclusion you can arrive at is a positive conclusion. Listen, I love the little setup shit where it was the girl picks up the phone about the party and doesn't transfer them back, and Coley's like, "Oh my goodness, she didn't follow protocol. Oh my goodness,
so bad.
Didn't follow protocol." And I'm just like, come on, man. Like, see that this is why I can't stay in corporate America. Bad. Like they, these people, they sit in an office all day. They're totally detached from what the hell's going on or what reality is. And then they act like, "Oh, you didn't follow protocol. You didn't go by the sales playbook here. Like, here, read this word for word to make this." I mean, come on. It's like,
I know.
I know. That's why it was frustrating for me to watch.
Take it for what it is, man. Like, it's a reality show. It's scripted.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows that. Listen, we from the start, really, and that's the truth. From the start, this show and them. The those who run the PBA, we haven't really seen eye to eye about things from the start, right? Like going all the way back to when we left Flow, because there was conflict over what we could say or not say about Bolero purchasing the PBA. So yeah, like I'm not, it doesn't surprise me. I'm okay with it. It's whatever. But at the same time, it's cool. It's cool to see Bolero promoted in that way. I was interested to hear that she was personally responsible for all the design features of the new Bolero. Like she got approval of all the design. Because can I just say, I don't know how you guys feel in the chat or what what your opinions are, but that half human, half deer head shit that's in Bolero centers is the dumbest shit I've ever seen in anywhere I've been. Seriously, it has no like. Explain to me what the connection is. Seriously, explain to me how that's supposed to. I mean, I'm not going to hate on the LOL or the the wow on the walls. That's fine, all good. The lighting, the bars, all that. But the deer head with the human body in the suit. What is that supposed to be? Come on,
I don't know.
Come
yeah,
right.
Look, like and there was an interesting part where someone said like they took away the lanes for like the arcade. I agree with that though. Like I hate having. I mean, look, like I grew up in a bowling alley. There was an arcade, but it was like 4 games. And yeah, she's right though. It is it is an entertainment center where if they're generating a lot of profits through the arcade or they're getting people in through the arcade, then I get why they would do that. And you can get rid of 6 or 8 lanes and probably not lose a whole lot of like business if you like your center and how much of your lanes are getting filled up for bowlers and how much you could probably take away and not lose any business. So anyway, we could talk hours about.
I know. I want to say one
COVID
last thing. She made a big deal about how she had worked her way up into the company. I don't know if that's true or not. I'll have to do my my homework on that. But can I just say she? Okay, but I'm saying like she made it seem as if she came up from working the desk at a Bolero center.
She was a marketing like coordinator or some kind of like entry level marketing position. That's what it sounded like.
Okay.
So,
nonetheless,
but by the way, I do got to say something though, and it looked like it's not really. I don't really talk like this a lot, but her daughter is adorable. Like her daughter was adorable. Like my mom was like, "Oh my god, her daughter is so beautiful," and I just had to like. I was just like, "Yeah, the daughter is pretty good looking." It didn't look like how the daughter didn't come out looking like how she dressed up though. Like.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know again how everybody else interpreted it, but. To me, some of the scenes where she was took dirt on her hands and all that, or nails.
Oh yeah,
to me, it completely came off like she was somebody who had never worked a real day of work in her life.
Yeah, did all my nails, but that was all scripted and shit. But I agree with you.
But I mean, to me, like if I'm an executive, I kind of want to be seen as somebody who is not afraid to get down and dirty, isn't afraid to do those jobs, has been there, has experienced that at some point. Yeah, so I was a little surprised by that too. All right, Rob, we got to move on. We'll sit here and analyze Undercover Boss until the show's over. I don't want to do that. Rob, it's October. It's October, and you all know what that means.
Yep, Halloween.
Well, no, not. I mean, yeah, Halloween, but not bowling wise. Bowling wise, it means college bowling.
Full effect, man.
I mean, that's usually when it was, when it was kicking off college
fall weather
season.
The bush light was cold. Fall, the tree leaves were falling. The college girl teams were, in prime time, form. College bowling was amazing, and I love talking about it. But Big Mike, we have our correspondent coming on talk college bowling, right?
We do because obviously it can't be a regular college bowling season this season with COVID and all this other stuff going on.
Yeah, we got to talk about how he's going to party with masks and all that stuff.
No, we got to talk about the bowling aspect and what it's what it's going to be like as a national champion going to be decided, etc. So we're going to bring on our guy, Sweep the Racks college bowling correspondent, the pride of South Brunswick, Alex Swords. What up, Alex?
What's up, guys? Good to be here.
Chilling. Your headphones are a lot cooler looking than mine. I'll say that, right, Rob?
They are. Look at that.
Torn apart, but it's all right.
I knew they match his hoodie too.
Very true. That what is that? Let's see the hoodie. The hoodie's looking awful dope.
Camouflage.
Okay. Yeah. Is that a like an official bowling hoodie, or is that just like school bookstore hoodie?
This was actually a gift from Grandma Sorge a couple Christmases ago. It was. I saw it on a website, and now I don't really play video games anymore. Clothes. I used to never want to get clothes when you were younger, but now all of a sudden I want to get the gear. So I saw it on a website, and I'm like, oh, it'd be pretty cool to pick up. So.
Okay,
that's true. If you stay single, you could have both, Alex. You could have gear and video games.
True.
What a great life. Oh, it's
Rob-
a great
Rob-
life.
It is.
Wow.
It's amazing.
That's a lot to look forward to.
Sleep
Uh,
in, eat pizza, play video games, go to the strip bar when you want. I'm telling you.
Yeah, be alone
Don't
by
ever get
yourself
married.
80% of the
Yeah.
time. Be lonely.
Don't ever get married.
Okay. So, Alex, we brought you on. So, actually, Rob, Alex is going to stick around when he's done, and he's going to do our first Hoss Tank with us. He's got a Hoss
he's
Tank
stepping
idea that, he's stepping into the Hoss Tank. He's got
I'm ready.
some balls, my man.
Yeah, it's probably got a good idea though.
He's coming to the Hoss Tank after we're done with this, but we wanted to bring you on because you are Sweep the Racks official college bowling correspondent. So
Yes, sir.
tell us, man, like, what's up with the college bowling season?
Well, it's really still up in the air. It's really a question because just again, we know so many things are changing throughout each day, every hour. Regulations are being changed. Bowling centers are still closed. There are still centers that are affected. I think out in California, right, Rob? I think you're out there. You're in Vegas, but still bowling
Used to
centers
be,
are
yeah.
closed, right?
Yeah.
And people still can't be getting bowling centers. So college season and getting everyone involved, it's kind of tough. But again, you got to work in house. You got to prepare like a season's just around the corner. I mean, even though we start in February, because actually WSU's spring break got taken away and our fall break got taken away, so we have an extended winter break until February 1st officially.
Spring break.
So we're not going to be bowling until at least February. But again, you got to prepare. We've been practicing these last couple weeks, working out in the morning. We've been on the same regimen as we would if there was a season just around the corner.
Dude, spring break was canceled.
All right,
Oh, my
hold
goodness.
on. Before you get
Mike.
to the party and nonsense, let's talk a little bit of
I'm all,
bowling at least.
I'm all pissed about it. He's talking about bowling centers closed. You said spring break closed. I almost cried. Literally, like,
So let's talk about this, Alex. Is there anything officially on the college bowling calendar right now?
As from a player's perspective, I don't think so. That we don't have it. We didn't even get a tentative schedule because our coaching staff doesn't want to give us a date that says on February 3rd, 4th, or whatever, we're going to be bowling this tournament. But all of a sudden, there's no season. Maybe something. Again, you never know. So they're really not releasing a schedule to us as players, just to not. Again, there still may not be a season, but USBC I think had put out like a tentative schedule for sectionals and nationals more toward the postseason. I know a couple events like the Hoosier. The Hoosier is actually running I think 4 separate events in one weekend. So teams that can get in certain days. So I think they'll run it maybe Thursday to Sunday, and teams that can travel in by Thursday, maybe they'll bowl the event on Thursday and then leave. Or if they can't get in till the weekend, they can bowl that on Saturday. So I know a couple. I think the Hoosiers one big event that's doing that. But again, it's tough because the Hoosiers are only in Indy, and we're coming from Wichita, so that's quite the haul for us. So again, there's some events that teams may not be able to get to. So we'll probably be bowling in the local areas like Dallas, hosting at North Rock here in Wichita, and trying to stay local, basically.
dude,
Like,
4
is there-
events, Mike.
Is there any
4 events in
like
one weekend.
conference competition that's
Yeah,
scheduled?
There's a couple. I think the SWIBC. I couldn't tell you what it stands for. I think it's like Southwest Intercollegiate Bowling Conference or something like that. They have something around the Dallas area where they run. Where Newman, who's in Wichita, they bowl. West Texas and a couple of Southern schools bowl that. Again, out east, They have Willie P. and St. John's. They have like the Northeastern
David
squads
Conference
up
too,
there.
yeah.
Right. So that's all I really know of. I haven't really seen many things pop up in regards to conferences releasing schedules or anything like that.
Okay, and what about at Wichita State? Have tryouts proceeded as they normally would? Has a team been formed? Are you guys, what process are you going through? Well, obviously, we know it's one of the more serious bowling schools out there. So,
Right.
kind of give us the rundown, just Wichita State wise. What have things been like for you on campus, in
Right.
terms of the bowling?
Right. So a couple weeks ago, they just finished tryouts. Teams were announced. The selected team and developmental team were announced. We started workouts last week, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays at 6:30 in the morning. We got practices from 2:15 to 4:15 Monday through Thursday, and there's a study hall built in there along with small team meetings. The tryout process looked different. Normally, they have the whole tryout group bowl together. I think they bowl like 3 games on 2 patterns the first week, and it's normally traditional games all the way through. But this year, and then that's the first 2 weeks. Week 3, they finished with a round robin match play. But this year, the first week we shot spares, and then we actually have Specto down at Chakra Sports Grill and Lanes where we try out. So there were some shot making tests we had to do in regards to Specto and our launch speed and our break point. So it was kind of different. But then after they cut the first group from the first week, the second week again was remaining. I think it was 4 games, 4 days, 16 games, and then the final 8 bowlers who made it to the tryout process would bowl 8 games of match play on that following Monday. So it's still 3 weeks.
So question, you guys only bowled 4 games every day? That's it? For 4 days?
Yeah, for how limited it was, yeah. There was not very many. We bowled 2 blocks for the first week, and there was 1 traditional game in each block, so that's 2 games. Then the tryout squad who made it to the next week, they would bowl 16 more games. That's 18 total games. I actually 15:01, Stu. That was my 2 mile. It was 2 miles, not 4 miles. 4 miles. I don't think anyone would make it that far. 4 miles.
15:01, 2 miles is that's a great time, Alex. Holy shit! Were you sprinting?
He wants to know how his podcast partner's kid did in the run, though. That's what he wants to know. He wants the inside info on that.
Beat me. I was there.
He should. He's a basketball player, ain't he?
Yeah,
he's a basketball guy. He should be well conditioned.
Dude, Stu would have done a 45-minute. At least 45 minutes.
I wasn't going to any college where you had to run to be on the bowling team, son. Let me be clear.
Big Mike would have been like a 2-minute, 60 mile. 60-minute, 2 mile.
Yo, please. Wasn't doing that. No, I was good.
So, Mike, here's my question is, though, like, 4 games in 4 days, like, I was just thinking about that. And
no, per day. So 16.
Per day, like 4 games per day. Dude, it sucks for me as a type of bowler. Like I love the 8 or 10 game format a day because I could get through the fresh, try to like at least push through the first 3 and wait for them to break down and just beat the hell out of them. So if you couldn't do that, you had to really hit the fresh pretty much every day, right? I mean, fair to say.
Right. I mean, there were A squads and B squads because again, we only have 8 lanes on campus and there was so many people trying out. So you bowl on the fresh to start, and they actually don't re-oil for the B squad. You're bowling on a burn. So you bowl 2 blocks. So you get your 1 squad on the burn, and you get your 1 squad on the fresh. And then obviously you make it to the
dude, I love their program and how they do things. Just, I mean, we talked about this a while ago about how like they do like their tryouts and they do like their study hall and they do their practice sessions and I mean, this thing is so awesome. Like, I mean, if you even know that the shit show of a train wreck of the program I went to, like, and how we did things, it was like, here you go, practice on your own time. Like, there was no workouts. There was no, I mean, it was.
Yeah, we practiced at like 9:30 at night on like a Tuesday.
We barely even practiced. I mean, it was just like, if the squirt gun and the oil and the mop was good to go, we could practice. But I just love hearing that. Like I really am jealous to a certain degree. I wish I could go to like I would have been able to go to like some kind of structured program like you went to, and I might actually be on TV instead of on a bowling podcast. So
yeah. So the other thing I wanted to say, Rob, between you and I, like.
And we still beat their asses. That's the truth, too. We still used to whip on people.
Imagine, being a senior, going into your senior season, college bowling, and this pandemic hits.
So
and I'll tell you what I would have been doing, and this is the truth. I would have been on AOL Instant Messenger. Probably you remember that back in the day, Rob. I'm dating myself there, right?
AOL
Instant Messenger. I would have been hitting everybody up that I knew from any college bowling team in the entire drivable area from where we were, and I would have been putting matches together. Absolutely 100%. Like I would have been hitting up St. John's, I would have been hitting up Bryant, I would have been hitting up some of the schools up and down the northeast section of the country. And I would have been trying to get it in, maybe like a home and home, like we travel to them, they travel to us type deal, bring your best 6, something of that nature. Alex, I see you shaking your head down there.
We got
and don't say anything that's going to get you in trouble.
No. We have scrimmages between us and Newman within the next coming couple weeks. I think it's next week. We have a scrimmage against Newman. One day we're going to bowl at Shocker Sports Growing Lanes, where we practice on a regular basis, and then we're going to go to North Rock the next day, which is a local center in town, where Newman practices regularly, and we're going to bowl them. I think it's going to be a mega match format, where how the NCAA girls do it, you bowl like a traditional game, and then 5 games of Baker, total wood, and then if there's a tie there, it goes to the best of 7 Baker.
So Mike brought up a good point though, because here's a question, and we can go completely off the grid on this question, but it's kind of fair. How many seniors right now are on your guys' team right now in Wichita?
Right now, well, I'm a grad student. I actually kind of got lucky because, well, I take it as a blessing. I missed the team my second year, so I still had another year of eligibility. So I guess is my last year, so I'll be a senior, I guess, per se. And then we have Brandon Biondo, who's an All-American last year. We lose him. Briley Howe, who was on the show actually when it was in an audio form.
Sure.
Speak to the Rack family. Him, I think it's just us 3.
Now, so my question. Yeah. So my follow-up question to that would be is, how many of those guys, like you said, Biondo is a former All-American, right?
Right.
Or he was All-American last year. Obviously, it's not going to be a complete season this season, but how many of them actually really want to like bowl for a living and go and like on the tour and like take that jump? And we've talked about this on previous shows. Like it's almost impossible these days for a senior, if you're not a like top 15 as a player, to go on the national tour and to like get the funding to do it, I guess. So like, right. How many of them are actually going to go do that or try to do it?
I think Brandon's actually going to go on the tour in this coming season. Watching him practice and put in all the hard work behind the scenes, it's crazy how you could see what he does behind the scenes and then watch him perform on the lanes, and you're like, I know why this is happening, And I don't know, he's devoted. He wants to bowl on the tour. He's got his father, Vince, and Joey, his mom, great bowling talent. So he's kind of the big one right now that's coming out of Wichita. Again, it all depends on what route you want to take, but I know for sure Brandon definitely wants to hit the tour after the season.
Yeah, got it. Okay. I was just wondering because like one of my biggest complaints in the PBA is not really, I feel like the regional circuit is really not a very good program for a stepping stone to get on the national tour. Kind of like how the NBA does it, right? It's easy, high school, college, and then you get drafted. And I feel like a lot of people like NFL is the same kind of way. I feel like when it comes to bowling, there really isn't like an outlet from like college to the pro level. And I don't want to hear about the regional circuit.
Yes, there is. I'll tell you what it is. It's a ball deal. That's what it is.
What, a ball deal? What, you mean like a full-time contract? Like how many college kids get full-time contracts with ball deals?
Very few.
I think there's some that come out of college and might not get all that much money, but if somebody comes and approaches you and puts that money in your pocket and allows you to go and chase this dream that you've had, then so be it. And like, let's be honest, the people, the kids that go to Wichita State, like bowling has been a big part of their life. I think that almost goes without saying. So at that school, you're going to see it way more often.
I know the thing about it is like I remember just on my I went out kind of like how you and Biondo, you see how Biondo practiced. I was the same way with Bill, right? I practiced with Bill. I grew up with Bill. I saw how Bill, and the only reason, really not only reason, but a lot of the reason why Bill was able to get on tour in the first place was because he was able to make a lot of money bowling amateur, USBC World Team Challenges, ABC, or I should say ABC tournament back then, or USBC national tournament, where he won a couple monster brackets, and you're able to take that money and then reinvest in yourself and go out.
No, really, the reason that he was able to go on tour is because he won a spot through tour trials, right?
Yeah,
and he won an exemption. So, like at that time, that was the way to do it, right? Like Mike Fagan did more what you're saying there, Rob. Like he went out earlier when there was no exemption kind of did it on his own as an investment type thing, and then
the money he made from the amateurs,
right,
like the high rollers,
and was able to earn an
USBCs.
exemption there going
Right,
forward.
but
right?
they don't
So
have that these days. These kids
No.
don't have these days. They don't have there's
that's
no
why
money
you
in the
need the
USBC
ball
tournament, right?
contract. That's
But
why
the
you
ball
need some
contracts
ball
ain't
money
paying
coming
their
in.
expenses for a year, Mike.
I know, but I'm saying like they have other avenues of support that just puts some money in their pocket and makes them able to do it. Like
you have to have
even-
parents that want to support you, that have
Sure.
the money to do it.
Sure.
Like if you don't have that, if you don't have the family that's going to be able to put up the money and support you, and tell you to go get a real job, you're probably not going to like be out there. And even if you have all the talent and all the hard work ethic in the world, like you have to either find a sponsor that's going to want to put you out there, or you're going to have some kind of parents. And we talk about this a lot. Someone like
I'm crushed, Bell Bottoms. I'm crushed. You just ruined my night.
yeah. Oh, I mean, Mike. I mean, you weren't on Saginaw Valley's level. I mean, come on.
Well, it didn't matter.
That.
You saw me. If you saw me throw it once, you remember me, son.
Yeah,
you saw me throw it once. You remember me. Smoothest game out there.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
right.
you were real smooth. Anyway, so yeah, all I'm saying is like it's and Mike brought up a good point about the seniors right now and how they can't
sucks
have the last year, and it's like that with a lot of sports, right? Not just bowling. Like I imagine, like I feel bad for a lot of these guys who are going to try to get drafted.
High school too.
Yeah.
Same
what about
thing.
you, Alex? Is this your last year bowling, right?
Last year of eligibility.
What are you gonna do you have any plans on bowling, on getting your card, or are you like what is your plans after you leave?
Me, I'm kind of really open right now. I'm still going for my master's in sport management. I'm trying to again network with new people because I have my undergrad in criminal justice. So I'm kind of taking a different avenue here with sport management. So I got to start networking around here a little bit more. Again, it's the first semester. We got a lot of time left. But again, my dream job, I guess per se, I want to work in baseball. Go out, whether it's marketing, sales, operations. Baseball's in my blood. Before I bowled, I played baseball. Before I started to devote my time to bowling. So I think it would be pretty cool to show up to a baseball diamond every day. But again, I'm pretty much open to anything. The tour, again, I put a lot of respect. I give those guys a ton of respect because especially coming out of college, like young kids that I know that I've seen, you got to get crushed. I don't know. Like you're stepping in the gates have opened.
Shark
Welcome.
Tank.
Yep.
Stepping in the Shark Tank.
All right. So speaking of that, let's transition here. And yeah, I was going to say, he could be an agent, right? He could be our agent. Yeah. Sign us.
I'm sure PBA agents are getting huge cuts of that $1 billion revenue that Bolero is bringing in. Anyway,
you'd be better off taking your chances on Undercover Boss, I think.
I know. I wish I had one of those intros like Shark Tank, and you could dun 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 dun. When they walk in. And,
all right, let's outline how this is going to go. Alex will present his idea, and then Rob, you and I have to outline how much we'd be willing to invest in his idea. All right, and that will go from $0, okay, which would mean your idea stinks, and you basically you're dead to me, and you're thrown out of the Shark Tank. Or Rob, we can invest up to $1 million, which would mean this is the max investment. We're all in on this idea. Okay, $1 million investment. All right, so Alex, we'll transition over. Welcome to the Hoss Tank. You're the first guest. Give us your bowling-related idea, and we'll tell you what we're willing to invest here.
All right, so my bowling-related idea is I'm going to put famous PBA moments on T-shirts. Now, here's my thought process. I actually talked to Brent Bowers about this. There is a bakery, a T-shirt bakery.
Hold on, do you understand? Wait a second. You see the name drop? Don't come in the Hoss Tank and name drop us. Hey, don't name drop us. We're the name droppers around here. Don't name drop. You see what he did, Rob? He just name dropped the guy who shot $8.99 last week. Right? So
my guy.
Pick up on the name drop. All right, continue. Don't name drop around us or you'll get $0 from me. You'll be dead to me. Go ahead.
So there's a company, it's called Johnny Cupcakes. And he produces T-shirts.
I know this dude.
They are like a baked good. So they'll release a limited supply of these T-shirts, and first come, first serve. We're making 50 Pete Weber shirts. Who do you think you are? I am. It's going to have his face, picture of the iconic moment. Again, you can go down the line from Don Johnson laying on the lane from $2.99 all the way up to Bill, the Bo Derek, the big fist bump. Put it on a T-shirt. Make it limited time. Again.
All right. I have a question. My question is this: are you going more for like to appeal to serious bowling people, where it's going to be serious bowling moments? Or are you doing it more to appeal to like the hipster, ironic fashion, like, oh, I'm wearing a shirt with an image that you would never know what it is? Which one is it?
Can I say both? Gotta expand the target markets.
Well, I think that which one you're choosing would like impact the images that you're going to use. No,
it's true. I'm gonna have to go with serious bowlers then. I feel like there's not a lot of.
Then I'm invested. Then listen, hold on. I'm out. You can stop for me. I'm out. I'll invest $10 in that. There's just not enough of a market for bowling T-shirts like that. Now, if you would have went the other way and said, "Hey, I'm interested in appealing to the hipsters and putting like can you imagine a picture of like Dave DeEntremont, on a T-shirt, like no one would know what it is. Like you put his picture on a T-shirt, very awkward. I could picture that selling in some way, but I don't know about the serious bowlers. All right, Rob, do you need him to continue? I'm out, Rob, so you can work out.
Here's
your
the
own
thing: is
here.
I like the idea. There's a few reasons why. I have some experience in the apparel industry, right? Well, and the margins on apparel are huge margins. Dude, they're huge margins. Like if you have a popular product, it like only costs you like a few dollars to make a shirt, and you could, if it's a good shirt, you could charge like anywhere from you've seen $80 shirts out there. These margins are huge. Now, I could pick the PBA moment, right? Like I think
mustache. Gotta have the mustache.
Yeah, I think Randy Peterson like falling down after leaving an A-pin, or Ernie Schlegel running around would be an amazing shirt to wear. Like, so I kind of like that idea. That if I could pick a PBA moment, I'm trying to think what else. All
right, Rob, $0 to $1 million. $0 to $1 million. Where are you at?
I'm gonna go ahead and I like this idea because of just how good the margins are. If you could find cheap manufacturing, and I could handle the shipping part of it. Don't worry about that, Alex. I got that on lock.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna invest about 50,000.
Whoa, all right. Alex did pretty good in the Hoss tank for the first time. Okay.
$50,000 and $10.
I'm gonna go the Mr. Alex. Wonderful way. I want a 2.5%. What is that? What does he usually say? It's like a 2.
Yeah.
I want
royalty.
I want some kind of
perpetuity.
I want a royalty on every shirt you sell until I get back to even, and then and then we're gonna go that way. But no, that's a cool idea, Mike. I don't think it's that bad. If you're able to pick the moments, imagine having that moment with like you and the crowd with Bill like winning the PBA playoff. Was that a couple years ago? Or not win, but win the Rash. Or when he beat Rash, right? Yeah, that'd have been a cool moment for you guys to put on a shirt. Me cheering in the crowd, right? Or Bill high-fiving me would have been a cool moment. All right,
Alex,
I like it, Alex.
We appreciate the time. Thanks for catching us up on college bowling. We'll have you back to maybe second half of the year, see how things are going. Thanks for the Hoss tank idea, and we'll catch you later, man. Good luck with everything. Stay
out. Alex, we appreciate it, man.
Good to see you.
Yeah, no doubt, always. All right, Rob. I guess the best thing to transition into now would be PBA playoff talk. No.
PBA playoff talk, and they held
first set of shows there. And let me say this: can I say something for a second? We know all the results, right?
Yeah, we do.
Okay,
we know all the results.
And listen,
we know who won.
I'm not in no way, shape, or form are either of us going to come on here and reveal anything about the shows that haven't aired yet. Okay, so you don't have to worry about spoilers or anything like that. And I just want to put that out there. I just want to put that out there that, we support the PBA in what they're doing. No, the Final Four is not live. It's all been taped down. The whole entire thing's been taped down. I heard that the Final Four was supposed to be live, and then they changed that decision and decided to tape the whole thing and be done with it. So, listen, I just want to put it out there that we want to see the PBA do well. Just like anybody else, I would think, who's involved in the sport of bowling or loves the sport of bowling. So we support it in that way. But Rob, I got to be honest. I don't really feel that it's a two-way street. Like we could easily, come on and like ruin things or be spoilers or whatever, which again, we're not going to do. But yeah, I don't feel like the support wise, I don't feel like it's a two-way street, but that's okay. I just want to throw that out there though.
I got that hint when Coley turned us down for an interview. That was probably the first part of not feeling like you're like that supportive of a show of fans, right? We're fans. That's all we are. We're fans, right?
Informed fans, I would say.
Informed fans trying to get bowling out there in an entertaining way. And, you think the PBA would have came back and said, hey, like, these guys are good. But I feel like they throw a lot of support at Beef and Barnes because they're names and they're on TV. And
I'll be honest, I don't think they do.
I don't think
they do either. No, I don't. I don't feel like it's so much of a two-way street there either. All right.
Anyway,
let's
real quick.
So Saturday night, they aired the first set of shows. Right. It's the round of 16, but it's really the round of 24. 8 guys have buys. So first round has 16 players. Second round has 16 players. Even though there's
I like the format.
In the total field. What,
I
one
like
game?
Format.
You like the one game? I don't.
Yeah.
It's too much of a crapshoot. I like the 2 game.
That's high roller. I always talked about how
putting
the high roller on TV would be fun. To me, it's high roller. Like, they could have been done best 2 out of 3, but I don't think they have the airtime to do all that. Like,
no, they didn't this time around, and I'm not assigning blame for that. I understand why they made the changes they made, and that's fine. I prefer the 2 game. Win both or go to a sudden death roll off. I think that creates a lot of drama as well. I think it also kind of leads to the cream rising to the top a little bit in the matches. It's less of a crapshoot. Honestly, Rob, like I want to see quality competition. Quality players at the end of an event like this. It's the biggest money event that they have. I want to see quality competition. I get it. I feel you, and I think the 1 game matches are good. But you also have those instances where, and the first set of shows were good, right? Let's be honest. Most of the matches were close. They were good. It was entertaining. I thought the bowling, but you do have those instances, and I'm sure this will happen throughout this event where the match is going to be over by the 4th or 5th frame, and it's going to be out. And that to me that doesn't really make for great entertainment. Like if you're bowling the other format and the game's out early, at least the guy has a second game to kind of recover and see if he could get back on it. All right, so the first match, Rob. So it was supposed to be like one side of the bracket was going to air the shows than the other side, but I think what they're doing now, based on Lucas Wiseman's tweets today, is that they are sticking with that left side of the bracket. So next week is going to be the round of 16 for that left side of the bracket. We will not have seen any of the matches on the right side of the bracket yet. All right. So the first match was Jacob Buttriff and Tommy Jones. I see my man Jimmy saying Buttriff and Jones was incredible. Yeah, by far it was the best match, right? I mean, Buttriff got up there, labeled 3 shots in the 10th to win by a stick. I was shocked that he did it. Kind of surprised me. His look didn't look all that great at that time. He had the fortune of a couple messengers and things of that nature to get to that point.
I saw there was some second guessing on Tommy's ball choice.
Yeah,
using urethane. I do want to say something real quick though. Is I was a fan of the new intros that they did.
The intros were awesome.
I feel like maybe they're listening somewhat to me rant and rave for months about how we need some kind of like intro to these players. Like, hey, give me a 30-second like clip of what this player does or who he is. And I feel like that's kind of the road they're going. And I like it, Mike. It gave me
I like it too.
And I know there was a tweet from one of my friends who's not a bowler, who actually responded to you, who's not a bowler, and was like, I like being able to, see who these pros are, what they do, like what their nickname is. Just even 30 seconds, Mike, for the fans to get to know these players is a big difference when you're watching a match. It makes you there's a little bit more of a storyline.
Yeah, it gives people something to root for, an interest.
Yeah, I feel like they need to do so much more of that, Mike. But like that's a good start.
So I see a comment here.
Props to that.
I do too. I like the intros more. Please give us more. Go different. Don't see. Here's what it shouldn't become, Rob. It shouldn't become the same intro every single time, right? It
You
should
know
be
they're going
something
to.
different. I know,
You know
but it
they're
should be
going to.
something different. Add to it. Add to it, right? Do different stuff. Provide different
Right.
information in there. Have
Right.
4 or 5 of those, 10 of those even for each player, right? So
Right.
that if they make a couple shows in a row, you're saying some different things. You're giving people more information about them.
100%.
Nice job with those. Whoever wrote those, nice job with the writing. It was clever. It was good. Whoever produced those, I thought did a nice job. Seeing Frankie Lavoie in the suit was funny. It was like, that was
something you never would expect,
there.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's great. Keep it going. Like, I like it. Look, we're the first people to shit on the PBA and Bolero when they do something like dumb, but like I'll give them props when props are due, and they did a good job on the intros, man. Like,
Yeah.
I want to see more of that. Like,
Absolutely.
and I liked it. So if that's a Coley deal, then props to her. Like, the marketing dream team maybe hit one out of the park with that. So keep it
Seemed
going,
like
man.
more Fox to me, actually, but
I
whatever.
mean, you look, if you're gonna throw Coley under the bus for all this shit, then you might as well give some props when they do something. The
All right,
marketing team does something good.
The next match was one of those blowout matches that we were talking about, Rob. It was Francois Laveau and Norm Duke, 256 to 193. Norm Duke missed a 10-pin. Francois Laveau missed a 10-pin, I think, early in that match.
Well, we're missing 10 pins these days.
Yeah, well, I think, honestly, in all these shows, the rust has been evident. The rust that the players have has been evident. You really don't see a lot of this stuff happen.
Those guys are on bowling 100 games a week.
Yeah, just bad shots and weird leaves and missed spares and things of that nature, except Jacob Buttriff, whose spare shooting is atrocious. It's atrocious. I mean, I can't. I understand the kid strikes a lot, but my God, it totally goes against anything we were all taught about bowling.
Dude, but Belmo's spare shooting wasn't the greatest either when he was first on tour and TV.
Yeah, well, now he might be one of the best spare shooters on tour.
I know, so you got to give it.
It's either him or Bill who are the best spare or split converter on tour. I would say that.
I feel like Buttriff, that's an easy thing for him to fix. It's an easy thing for him to fix. He just needs to work at it and put some hard work and make some single pin spares. And he's going to be, he's already one of the top 5 best bowlers on tour. But if he gets his spare shooting on lock, especially on TV, Mike, he's going to win a lot more titles. There's no doubt, unless he runs out of purple hammers to drill. That's more concerning for me. Eventually, is Buttriff going to run out of purple hammers?
I don't know, Dave. Father Time catches up quickly. Before
Norm?
you know it. Yeah.
Man,
before you know it,
you don't know.
Like 1 year you're bowling good, you're competitive, you're in the hunt for titles, etc.
Dude,
yeah.
All the time, life hits you fast, bro. Especially when you're in a sport, competitive sport. Bowlers.
True.
I mean, he's pushed his career way longer on a competitive level than anybody ever thought. I mean, look at his people that he bowled against: Walter Ray, Pete Weber. They can't compete these days with the young guys. Norm Duke has held his own for a while. So yeah, I mean, the decline's real and it's going to start eventually. So, I mean, yeah, it's a good question. It's a good topic. We'll have to keep an eye on Norm and see how he's doing, but don't count him out, man. Whenever
he'll be all right. Though, come on, we know he owns all those properties. If he's going to retire, he'll just fall back. Do a little maintenance on his properties, show up, do a little spackle, a little paint.
Little jackhammer. Could you imagine with the helmet and the jackhammer?
Take the pool down for you. Like you
jackhammer.
If you don't, we're referring to our interview with him from the past. We did a long format interview with him. You guys can go check it out. It's out there. The next match, Rob, was Dick Allen. Oh, Rob.
You can't say.
Rob,
you can't
talk his name. Am I allowed to say his name? No. Not even in a bowling. Not even in a bowling sense.
No, we don't want. We don't want any of that. We don't want smoke. So let's just go on to the next.
We don't want him ranting on Twitter for days at a time. I am using it. All right, I'll just say the bowler. There was a bowler who bowled Don Barrett, and that bowler won the match, 227 to 190. Don Barrett again looked like he had a lot of rust on him. Didn't look like he was bringing his A game there very much. And then the last match, Rob, sick reaction. I thought Marshall Kent. I mean, his ball reaction was crazy.
Yo,
It
he
was
was
like,
hammering on it.
oh my god, yo, it was crazy. It really
It was
was.
fun to
It was
watch.
impressive.
It was
fun to
fun
watch.
to watch.
I actually
I love the
picked,
Marshall hammering on the ball. I love the
I
Marshall hammering on the ball. Like, look, I love when he
yeah,
does that.
I picked Chris Vi in that match because he's been bowling well lately, and I thought the two-handers would have the advantage here. He lost. It was close. Honestly, I felt like he could have pulled it out. He left quite a few ring tens
Dude.
there, and he lost 218 to 212. In my bracket, Rob, I had a really terrible night. I went 1-3 for the four
Oop.
matches. I went 1-3. So yeah, not good, not good. I'm glad I wasn't able to bet on it because bracket wise, I did not do so good.
Yeah, I think Marshall was actually hooking the ball more than Vi was one-handed. Safe to
Yeah.
say.
Yeah, very true.
I love.
All right,
I wish
so-
Marshall could do that every show. That was fun. To watch. I really.
The next show, Rob, is this Saturday, okay, the 17th, 6 p.m. Eastern on Fox. And it's going to be the guys who won last week's shows, okay, versus the guys who had the bye. So you got Buttrick versus Belmonte. You got Francois Laveau versus Rash. You got the bowler who shall not be mentioned because we don't want smoke on Twitter versus Anthony Simonson. Probably know who's going to win that one. And then we have Marshall Kent against Chris Prather, okay, last year's PBA playoff champion. So you guys can check that out. You know, I'm sure there'll be some good bowling there and good matches there. And obviously, Rob, we'll follow up with the people there to review that action as well next week. No.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully, those matches are close. And I feel like that's a big part of the shows being entertaining. Is the matches have to be close. When the matches are blowouts, it's not interesting. But when they're close, I mean, look at the Buttrick match. Like everybody has been talking about that match.
Yeah,
and if you really think about
Anthony Spags just commented that he was in a bar and people couldn't take their eyes off of it. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like the close matches, the tight competition,
Yeah.
bowling for serious money, like it definitely creates that drama, and you could tell those guys wanted to win there, right? So yeah, listen, we're gonna talk, right? So Rob, one of the last things we wanted to get to here was Barstool Carl, right?
Yeah, Barstool Carl doing the quickie. And look, like, I know you're going to talk about Barstool Carl and you're going to hate on him, whatever he does.
No,
whatever
I'm
he
not.
says.
No, I'm not. Why are you making me out to be a hater, son? You ain't
Because
making me out to be a hater.
Yeah, because he went out you.
No, let me speak. I said before that just like you did, that I'm willing to give the guy a fair shot and see where he goes with the bowling coverage and what he wants to do. I did say that judging by what he had done previously, I didn't have a ton of hope, or I wasn't very positive about it. But listen, you and I talked off the air, and we both got the same info from people that we know and people we talked to, and that was that he actually was doing a decent job and was taking things pretty seriously and kind of did do his homework, and show up. So, obviously what he presents, on camera as a persona, we already knew that. We talked about that. Here's my thing, though, okay? He only went for 1 day. All he watched was a few matches be bowled, the first set of matches. Like, if you're going to show up to an event, you get an invite to an event like that,
Mike,
stay for the end of the event. Come on, come on, you got something that important going on. You can't stick around for a couple days and see the completion of this $100,000 event, so that you can really write some real stuff on it instead of just hanging around for a day, especially when you got the invite down there. So yeah, listen, Jimmy, I'll agree, right? He took took it seriously.
Let's crawl before we walk, okay?
Producing a lot of content, right, and putting a lot of things together. There's also some things that Rob and I heard that we're not going to talk about because it's stuff that we don't feel it's our place to put it out there. But it seems like, how do I want to say this, Rob? What's a fair way to say it? It seems like there is a relationship being cultivated between the PBA, Bolero, and Barstool. Is that fair to say, Rob?
I mean, well, if you really think about it, the PBA, Carl had to get an invite somewhere from
I know,
somebody
but
from the PBA.
Rob, I'm saying outside of what we're talking about here, you and I
Yes.
know information
We
that
do.
we're not getting into, right?
No.
So, yeah, there's
Barstool did
definitely
talk
that
about running a
relationship being
tournament.
cultivated there.
Barstool did on air in one of like Barstool Carl's or one of his
Blogs, in
things
one of his
he-
recent blogs, yeah.
he did put out that they were looking to run a tournament or some kind of hosted tournament. Not sure if that has the PBA involved or if that's just some Barstool like tournament they're going to run or whatever it is. Look, like
No, that's my point. He didn't even stay till the end. He only stayed for one day. He stayed for one set of matches. Like,
I think
come on. To be able to really report on something in a real way, to me, you got to hang, you got to stay till the end.
If you really think about it, look, like the PBA is, in my opinion, and you might give me some shit for this. The PBA is headed in the right direction if they're going to start partnering with companies like Barstool and WWE. Honestly, and there's a real big reason why is because of the demographic Barstool has and the demographic that the WWE has. That's the demographic that the PBA needs to be focused on. I'm not gonna say male, it's male and female, age 16 to 40. Okay. They need to focus. They're doing with the PBA junior, right? So they're focusing more on the young, which is good. Barstool is a good company because of the demographic it hits. Dude, Barstool's everywhere, and it's a big part of the everyday mainstream media these days, especially with the males between 18 to 40 or 35, especially on social media. So
yeah, I don't disagree. I don't disagree. I just think that there's also other things that could do more to push things forward. Like, like I said, I'd rather see them focus on a relationship.
Oh yeah, King Corbin.
Dude,
the PBL, man, anything they can get, like WWE fans, if you are a WWE fan, and I know Mike doesn't hate it, like getting into it, these guys are religiously watch anything a wrestler is on. So if a wrestler's on bowling, there's going to be thousands of WWE fans that are going to be watching bowling. And I feel like it could be a good partnership just because of the demographic. And they need to get, involved in better sponsors like Barstool and WWE than, Liquid Lumberdators or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they need to find.
We didn't get to that. We didn't get to that tonight either. That Light Life is the official plant-based food partner of Bolero Corp and the 2020 PBA Tour. We'll put that on the burner.
Yeah, we'll talk about that next week because we're already over.
How many vegan cheeseburgers? What's the over/under on vegan cheeseburgers?
Yeah, vegan cheeseburger and a Michelob Ultra.
I don't know. I'm not so sure about that. All right. We had more for you people, but we're running late. We'll put some on the back burner for next week. Any final thoughts, Rob?
Not really, man. Just, check out the bowling this weekend. Like, we're trying to help and support the PBA. We really do, regardless of how much criticism we really give them. And the criticism comes from a love, right? It comes from love, Mike. We love the PBA. We love bowling. So all the criticism
Son, are you serious? Come on. Who you think we're riding with?
Come on, man.
What, are you serious? Come on.
I'm Europe all the way, man. Let's go. Let's do it.
Oh, please. Stop. Stu's my guy. But listen, I'm riding with the USA. I hit him up today. I said, Stu, safe travels, good bowling. But I'm heavily rooting against you here, Hoss.
Oh, final thought. I didn't realize this, but Coley lives in Brooklyn. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Dude, I like Coley, man. Shout outs to Brooktown, man. What up, Coley? Doing the Brooklyn thing, man. She getting
spread love. It's the Brooklyn way.
Exactly, man. Next thing she's gonna be listening to some BIG, rolling with a chicken parm hero down Flatbush Avenue, man.
She's from East Brunswick too, which is right around the corner from me here.
Yeah.
And my wife actually works there too. So interesting. Rob, my final thought is I want to thank the haters. For tuning in and watching. Thanks, haters. I know, even though there's a lot of hate, I know you guys are
we got some for you. We got some for you. So
yeah, no doubt.
We got a lot of things on deck.
We always have something up our sleeve. Give us a few weeks
man.
here. Give us a few weeks. But listen, guys, we appreciate everybody joining us. Check the show out on Saturday. Make sure you guys watch it. DVR, check it out. Weber Cup does start this weekend. There's a bowling bubble. I'm told that these guys are being kept in a bowling bubble over in England. I'm serious. They're not allowed to leave the hotel. They're going right from the airport to the hotel, COVID test, staying in the hotel, bowl the event. That's it. Nobody's allowed in. Nobody's allowed out. All they're doing is bowling the event. I'll be checking it out. I think it's matchgame.com or something like that. Might be. I forget the name of the app. But yeah, if you just Google Weber Bowling Weber Cup, you should be able to find the app that it's on.
Real quick,
I'll be checking it out.
If you guys do not follow us on Twitter, me and Mike
follow us.
It is a fucking train wreck. Every week there's something new on Twitter. Facebook is
that other account. I'm not even mentioning the name. The hater's probably in here right now. I didn't even mention the name. That other account. Listen, if you're really a fan of the show, unfollow that account. All right,
please
do us a favor, unfollow that account, because if it wasn't for me coming on this show and promoting that account in July, the burner hater would have 0 followers, maybe one follower. They'd have 1 follower. Suspect as shit.
He's not even a good hater either.
Okay,
if you're going to be a hater, be a good hater, man. Like he's not even a good hater.
So listen, if you're following, unfollow. Follow us. You'll see what we have to come.
You'll see it.
Rob, take it easy. People enjoy the bowling this weekend. Weber Cup Match Room. Check out our boy Bill. Check out Stu, Chris Barnes. Who else is bowling? Simo, Kyle Troop, right, is going to be on there. Yes for Svensson, Martin Larson, Don Barrett for the other side. So definitely some good bowling. Check that out. It's worth the subscription. It was a really well produced show when I watched it last year. It's because there's haters, son. It's because there's listen, my thing is if you're hating, just come and tell me anyway. I'm right here. I ain't that hard to find. All right. There's no reason to hide. I'm right here. We can take it. We're big boys over here. It's fine.
I think it's entertaining. I like talking about it.
So do I. I like the drama, honestly. So check out the bowling this weekend. Check out the PBA as well, 6:30 on Saturday. Rob, take it easy. I'll catch you next week.
Later.